Hello, my name is Juan Pablo, and in this video I'm going to talk about myself and my experience learning English. The journey began in school, learning English in the most basic way a little kid could do. They would teach us stuff like letters, vowels, colors, and so on. So at this point we know that the English that schools teach it's not the best, and my mom decided to sign me up for a program that it was on weekends, on Saturdays to be more specific. We would go from 9 a.m. until 12:30 a.m. and there was a 30-minute break between classes, like at 10 a.m. If I remember correctly. This program helped me out to improve my English exponentially. They taught us the rule of how to speak, write, and listen to the language correctly. Funny enough, the kind of English that I learned was British English. They taught us British English on the PCS program. And there are slight differences, like, for example, instead of donut, we say donut. Kind of strange, but we say that. And another example is color. When we say instead of color, we said color with an U between the last OR. This went on until 2016 when after 6 years I graduated from PCS program. I felt so fulfilled when I got my certificate, but I still was in middle school, so I had to take my normal classes, and thus I had an English course that I have to finish there. But thanks to those years at PCS program, I have a good English level that will help me out throughout the years. My career goal is doing what I like and thus climbing up in the business ladder. But I know that hard working isn't the only key to success. It's just a piece of the puzzle. My real goal is making more relationships with people, making friendships with classmates and work partners, because you never know when you will need the help from a friend that you met 3 years ago in your classes. Now it's time to talk about myself. I'm 18 years old and I was born here in Mazatlan, Sinaloa. I've always had this dream of studying away from my hometown, so when I saw the opportunity to study at UABC, I took it. Thankfully, I have the support of my family and also the support of my relatives over there at Mexicali. Some of my hobbies are drawing and playing video games like any other teenager. I've drawn since 2015 now, that's 4 years since I've started drawing. I learned drawing by internet tutorials. I took some classes, but you don't really need them. It's more like the basics are out there in the internet, so anyone can learn to draw. About video games, I've played them since I was a little kid because my dad used to own an Xbox that he threw away last year. But I still remember those days that I played games like Contra or Metal Slug. But those are really old games, like arcade machine games. The game that I really played a lot was this one, Halo. This is the game that made me fall in love for video games. I've played them a lot even though I didn't understand a thing it said. Uh, I still play video games, but not as much as I would like. Not as much as I did in the past. The device I would improve are laptops because they only have one HDMI port, and if I want another HDMI port, I need to buy a cable that goes from a USB to HDMI. So instead of that, I would add another HDMI port to the computer side. Thank you so much for your attention. It only took like 200 takes to make this video.